Welcome in, brothers. Welcome in. This is how closers accidentally tie self worth to commission. And it's a frequent issue that I've seen people encounter when they get into the high ticket closing space. Now, how this first starts, you'll jump into the space. You'll have likely been sold the dream by a lot of these gurus and mentors, how you're going to be sat on a beach, kicking your feet up on a laptop, making $10, $15, $20,000 a month, taking a few hours of sales calls a day. And you've quickly realized that that just isn't the reality. This is a difficult game. You thought you were coming in on recruit, turns out it's veteran. And what ends up happening is you begin to tie commission to safety. We don't have a regular paycheck coming in at the end of the month. You are essentially an entrepreneur. You are your own business as a high ticket closer. So everything relies on you. It's on your shoulders to make the money, to support yourself and your family. So what we do is we tie that commission, we tie closing those deals into security. And of course, security brings calmness, brings that safe feeling. So when you feel calm, you say to yourself, I'm okay. Now, you can start to see a bit of a cycle beginning there. If we need to make commission to feel safe, and when we're safe, we feel calm, then what happens if we don't make commission? So when the money dips, it doesn't necessarily feel like just numbers dropping. It feels like the ground is literally disappearing from under us. Okay, all of a sudden I felt safe and secure. Now I feel like the table's been flipped and the house is on fire. And this becomes a loop, and it's a really dangerous loop. So when you have a good month, you've closed a bunch of deals, you're feeling great, you get that feeling of relief. Oh, thanks. Temporary confidence then comes from there. You get a bit of a boost. Hey, I've had a killer month. I'm feeling on top of the world. But then the moment you have a bad month, which could come straight after, that then builds tension. The tension leads to self-doubt, and that self-doubt causes you to overcompensate. It's why you may have a great month followed by a bad month, and then you start to second guess absolutely everything. You start to think, hold on a minute, does the process not work? Do I need to invest into somebody else and learn something different? Is this even the right vehicle for me? It becomes catastrophic. And the issue here is confidence becomes conditional. So you do start to look for a fix. You don't necessarily look in the mirror and look inward. Because if you continue to tie your confidence, your positivity to your commission, to the money coming in each month, then are you truly a confident person? No. You're externalizing your feeling of self-worth and confidence onto that monetary value. Now, how do we break out of this? One big thing here that we need to look at is why this is worse in sales than other careers. And it's because sales is public, it's comparative, and it's volatile. A lot of people, when they get into the game, they start personal branding. You start posting on Instagram, on social media. You post your commission on your story when you close a deal. And you start to get this spotlight syndrome. Hey, I've had a great month. I've posted deal after deal after deal. People are now expecting this standard from me. So when it slips, your confidence starts to crumble and you start to feel like a fraud. Hold on. I need to now live up to this expectation that I've just set for others. I've just told them I'm a 10K closer, but now I've dipped below that number. Does that mean I'm lying? Does that mean I thought I was and I'm actually not? And of course, it's so volatile. You can have a great month. You can go from making 20,000 to 5. You could be on an offer that completely turns upside down, your lead flow dies, you're not getting any calls, and you go from being on top of the world to down in the dirt. And one other huge thing is there's leaderboards with those cash collected screenshots. So not only are you comparing yourself to others online, when you see them posting their figures, them posting their numbers, and you're also posting your own, but even on your own offer and on other offers, you start to see these leaderboards. You start to think, oh, hold on a minute. I thought I was doing pretty well, but now I just saw a guy online tell me that if I'm not making 50K a month, that I should kill myself. like, like now I don't feel so good anymore, right? Like there's the issue. And we have monthly resets that then erase all momentum. So we compartmentalize our victories. I'm this a month closer. I'm a 20K a month closer. You'll probably have heard me say that quite a few times. But is that my identity? Is that really what my value lies at? When someone sees me, do they say, hold on a minute, what a month closer are you? I just want to judge to know how good of a person you are or how worthy you are. I just need to know how much you've made per month. And of course, you see these inflated figures in the space. You see somebody suddenly go from being a 20K a month closer to now being a 40K a month closer when they made X amount from closing and then X amount from something completely different. And they've just mashed the numbers together and then coined themselves as a 40K a month closer. So you start looking in the mirror and thinking, wow, okay, I'm nowhere near where I need to be. And it's just simply not the case. And this leads to a persona problem because our mind is then continuously conditioned to believe certain versions of us close more and that a calm, relaxed version of ourselves might get lazy. So, okay, how was I acting? What was I doing? What made that month so special compared to this one? I need to try and figure this out. It could be anecdotal. It could just be time of year, could be marketing, it could be so many factors, but we get told time and time and time again, never externalize, always take full responsibility for everything that happens to you, which I would agree with to a certain extent, but if you allow that to spiral you and drop your self-worth and drop your confidence down into a pit, then that way of thinking isn't actually serving you at that point in any way. And of course, we get that hustle culture mentality telling us to never rest, never be satisfied. That's never enough money. You need to always work harder. There's always someone doing better than you. Yep. And that just begins to crumble this confidence that we've built up, when in reality, the only person you should ever be comparing yourself to is yourself yesterday. That's it. It doesn't matter what journey or story or experience somebody else has had, but your own. And what this leads to is we start to wear a mask. It's a performance persona. So we think, how was I acting? Or how is that person acting to actually get the results they're getting? Okay, maybe now I should start acting more like them. Maybe I should start using their process, asking questions like them, using their same tonality. You begin to almost try and copy somebody else entirely and embody who they are, but that's not who you are. And even then, if it begins to work and your results actually start to go up, your congruence is going down. That's the issue. So yes, you may be building this nice little skyscraper and hitting some good numbers and, you're performing in sales and work and it's going up and up and up, but the foundations aren't built where they need to be. You're building this on this fake masked personality, and there's only so long you can keep up an act before your brain starts to fatigue. And at that point, this skyscraper that we've now built up comes crumbling down. We go from making X amount of money to now making way, way less, but we haven't got any internal confidence to be able to ride the slump, to ride the dip, because we never actually focused on trusting ourselves. We're trusting this imaginary version of ourselves. That's the issue. You trust the version of you that performs, not you. And stress here leads to fragility, because when self-worth is tied to commission, wins don't even necessarily feel satisfying anymore, because you're always chasing your own tail. I need to get X amount of wins to beat this number. But even if I get to that point, gosh, I saw somebody else was double that, so I need even more. Losses then also feel personal, every time you don't close a deal, every time you see a no-show, every time your calls get cancelled, you start to take that personally. You start to think, I can't be the person I need to be now because of this. I can't become this version of myself now because of this. And rest then feels completely unsafe because you feel as though you may need to rest, you need a break, you need to relax or go see your friends. But because your performance now isn't reflected, I can't even do that now. I just need to stay glued to my laptop, taking as many calls as possible and trying anything I can to get to where I need to be. Neutral days also feel threatening as an offset of that. And you're really never actually winning there. Like, you just avoid losing. If I don't do this, I am a loser, is what you tell yourself. It's not every little win, I'm a winner, I'm a winner, I'm more of a winner now, I'm even more of a winner. No, it's I'm a loser or I've won. That's what you tell yourself day in, day out. And when someone comes to you and they say, look, just stop caring, just detach from the outcome, just focus on the inputs and detach from the outcome. Yes, good advice, but it's easier said than done because it ignores the root of the problem. Your body still associates money with worth. That's the issue. If we don't address that, then we can't find a solution here because all detachment is suppression at that point. Because if you've still got that rooted belief inside of you, then when you detach, all you're doing is burying it. You're not actually pulling it out of the dirt. And that suppression then leaks out as anxiety, as force, as numbness. You mask the anxiety because you know, I shouldn't be anxious. I'm in sales. I should be confident. I should be congruent. I should be all these things. So then you begin to force this masked personality. Yeah, I'm absolutely fine. No, I'm a killer. Yeah, I'm an absolute professional. I do this, do that. But you don't actually think that about yourself. That's the issue. And you can't detach from the outcome if the outcome is regulating your self-worth. If you feel as though I am only worthy if I make X amount of money, or if I have this close rate, or if I'm the top of my sales team, detach all you like, you're not going to feel valuable. And this is the shift that actually changes it. And the solution, it is not caring about making money, or should I say not caring about making money. Money's great. Money helps you support yourself, support your loved ones, care for them and have a great life, which is fantastic. But the shift really comes from separating your identity from your performance. So that is building internal stability before the results and learning to feel safe regardless of the month. So when it comes to building that internal stability, you either are a confident individual or you're not. Are you somebody that believes, you know what, I have value, I have self-worth, I deserve success, I'm happy, I have people who love me, I have people who care for me, therefore the money is a bonus. The money is an offset of these attributes and traits that I value above the money. Or is it I need this money in order to feel confident, in order to feel safe? Otherwise, I can't care for the people I love. I feel like a failure. There's a huge difference there. And if you continue with the ideology that you need that commission check and you need that money in order to be the person that really you want to be, you'll never be that person. You're putting the cart before the horse. Right? You need to do it the other way around, because when your self-worth is stable, then commission just becomes feedback. It's not your identity at that point. The commission is, well, yeah, of course, I'm going to make XYZ amount now because I'm content and I have my habits in place and my life is in order. Therefore, it's only a side effect, but of course I'm going to make great money from there. You are focusing on the inputs over the outcome, but you're doing it in a really present-based way. And to finish up, all you need to do is ask yourself this. If you did not close anything this month, who would you be? Who would you be? What is your identity? If you didn't close anything, are you now worthless? Are you someone who actually lacks value as a human being because you didn't close anything this month? Are you less of a person than you were last month? No. More than likely, or no, just no, you're not. Because your commission, your performance within your job, within your work environment, does not dictate who you are. It's just one facet of your existence. It's one focus. It's how you earn money. And it's so bizarre how in this closing space, we put such an emphasis on this over most other work environments out there. Like, you don't hear, I'm sure, people are particularly 9-to-5ers, very different dynamic, but I certainly don't hear my friends clocking out of work in the evening and saying, oh gosh, I didn't finish the paperwork today. Oh my, I'm going to stress about this all day because I've not filled the paperwork very well this month. Oh, I didn't get the team award. I didn't get the pizza. They buy you a pizza at the end of the month, and they give you a gold star if you're the top performer in the office. Oh gosh, I'm just underperforming here. I'm underperforming. Granted, they have the safety of a consistent income, right? And yeah, they may get a bonus, but in regard to us, our skill set is the only way in which we make money. That's the problem. But can you see how, with you tormenting yourself and putting all of your emphasis on that, you're making your life miserable? Is that what got you in this space in the first place? No, it can't be. I don't think any of you wanted to sign up for that. Otherwise, you'd probably prefer a 9-to-5, really, because you could be making all the money in the world. You could be making 200 grand a month. But if you wake up every single day and think, oh, God, I should have made 250, what's the point? What's the point? Because you're not actually ever happy. And I heard this, I think, ridiculous ideology as well of, I'm not here to be happy. I'm not here to be happy. I'm here to make loads of money so that then I can give all of the money to my mum and set my children up for life and my family up for life. What a miserable existence. And it's like masked with this like selflessness, like, oh no, I don't care for my own happiness because I'm so selfless. I'm doing this for all of these other people. But really, if you were to ask them, would you like for me to trade my lifelong happiness for me to be able to financially support your life for the rest of your time? They're gonna say no, because anybody who loves you doesn't care that much about the money. They care more about you being a happy, positive person, because then you'll bring that to their life. And it's not one or the other. You can still be happy, you can still be satisfied, and you can still make certainly enough money to support others and yourself. Plain and simple. It is a limiting belief if you do not believe so, and that is not going to be conducive to continued success. There will come a point where you will crash and you will burn, and it will be so hard for you to recover. So I hope this has been helpful. I thought I would dive into what I have heard time and time again from closer after closer to see if I can break through into that mind of yours, chip at it, and we can begin to actually set clear boundaries in terms of our happiness and where we place our worth. Now, one solution for you to go away and apply now in order to integrate this, because it's all well and good absorbing information, is one thing I do in my community where I have a brotherhood. We uplift each other. We set very clear habits so that we can stay consistent week to week. I have found that your performance in sales, breaking through these commission barriers, very rarely stems from sales performance independently. You probably have already been through a number of sales frameworks. You may have even already worked with a number of mentors. However, if you don't dial in clean, consistent habits outside of sales, the time you wake up exercising, eating well, feeling good and positive, getting for a walk, journaling, all of these are going to tie in to your sales performance. They're going to lower your stress levels. They're going to base yourself back in reality. And that's therefore going to enable you to be happier, interact with people better, and of course, close more deals. So set yourself 4 clear habits to begin applying for this week. Write them down, and then each day make them non-negotiable and tick them off as you go. If you are interested in finding out about the community that I run, then you can find my Instagram in the description. Head on to there. You can shoot me a DM, ask any questions, and of course, check out my Instagram reels and stories for more information. But anyway, I hope this video has been helpful, and I will see you guys in the next one.